We always can turn to our guy, King of the Crusties, Bryan Broaddus, to break it all down and let us know exactly why this happened and why this didn't. And it's time now for Krusty's Corner.
Appreciate that there, Wooly Bully. Never easy on the autopsies when it's, but that's the way to learn. You do your best to try and learn what happened along the way. What do you think Tua's percentage was, or what do you think his numbers were when he was blitzed in this game?
Oh, I would say
he was blitzed only 10% of this game. He faced a blitz only 10% of the snaps.
I would say bad. I mean, his numbers this season have been really poor when he's been pressured and blitzed. Yeah. So I would say not good.
He was 1 of 4 for 18 yards.
There you go.
He averaged 4.5 yards of completion. Why do you blitz him 10% of the time?
Maybe blitz him more when you're 1 for 4.
Yeah, the numbers. You look at it how about this when he faced pressure? It's 2 of 8 for 64 yards. It's 8 yards of completion. 25% completion percentage. 2 of 8 when pressured. When he wasn't pressured, he was 22 of 29 for 229 yards, 1 touchdown. That's, to me, I'm kind of wondering, did we miss something here? Did we miss an opportunity? Were you so concerned
about their weapons
with
and their
weapons?
Speed?
Yeah, I mean, early in that game, like the hill drop that we had, man, you talk about the first series, or I guess it's first series for the off the goal line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then I think it was 3rd and 8, and they popped that big 50-yard chunk to Waddle.
Oh, it's back to back. Yeah, but the hill drop. You talk about a creative design to create space for him, because man, they could have that. Okay, the Dolphins caught a break anyway, because Lamb is holding Parsons. I mean, he's tackling him. He's tackling the guy, and they get the ball off. But what they do is they move in goal, they motion him out wide, and it forces Bland to go with him to widen.
Okay. And
they put so much pressure. Dallas is in too deep. And it's again one of those games where a couple of times I don't know what Wilson was looking at. Because I mean, he never reacted to Hill running that route, that vertical route, to help Bland. I mean, he's got to help. I mean, Hooker's on the other side of the field, and he's trying to get, he can't. I mean, there's no way he gets over, but I just wonder sometimes with Wilson, they play him these 2 deep looks, and you wonder what's happening. The same thing on the Waddle play. Mm-hmm. It's like,
that was on Gilmore on the other side.
Yeah, there was
no safety help there.
That was just an attack on Gilmore, what that one was. Waddle runs right by him. I mean, he just flat runs right by him. But you got Wilson again to that side that's supposedly on the hash to help. And he turns to his right inside. They got everything covered inside. There's no reason for him to turn to the inside. Your threat is to the outside there. It's Waddle. Help your guy there. Turn your hips to the left, get depth, play the angle, and go defend the ball. But again, he turned. That's a 50-yard gain right there.
It's huge.
Yeah. I'll tell you where Dallas did a pretty good job, though, too, is playing run defense in this game.
That is a bright spot, because we were worried about it.
Yeah.
And after what happened with Buffalo, I mean, they held Miami to under 100 yards as a team.
And I'll tell you what, the plan for the Dolphins was clearly the perimeter run. And there were a couple of times. The one time with Jordan Lewis, he had a tackle for a loss on a -3 play. And you talk about, to play run defense. Remember earlier, guys, we were saying linebackers, play with anticipation, play with awareness, play with an understanding. That's what Jordan Lewis did on that. They're going to toss the ball to, they're going to try and run a crack toss to Moster, and Lewis just knows exactly what's happening. He knows he's, my man Chosen, wide receiver.
Chosen Anderson.
Chosen Anderson is going to crack. His last name's Chosen. not his first name is
no, it is. It's Chosen Anderson. Well, did you just go Robert Chosen? I thought he changed it to Chosen Anderson. But he's putting Chosen on the back of the jersey.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's Chosen. I thought it was Chosen because I saw it on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, he legally changed it to Chosen.
Yeah, it's crazy, but hey, good for him. That's the way he feels.
He's fast.
Good for him.
That's another speed player they've got.
Yeah, but they could try a crack toss, and Lewis reads the play the whole way. Knifes down inside, beats the block right there. You know, I mean that's what you got to do right there to play run defense. You got to play with some anticipation. Hooker, I mean I've been super critical of Hooker's play, you know, and the last several weeks he's done a pretty damn good job. They're going to run toss left, and so this is down on the goal line, and Lawrence takes on two blockers, and then you get Hooker is again anticipation, seeing what's going on. He's going to attack the edge, and he's going to beat Armstead, the tackle, who gets outside to the corner, and he's going to cut down Moser for another loss of 3. And so right there you go. That's what you got to have. You got to have that ability to make those stops down there, you know, when teams are going to try and run the ball on the edge, play with the anticipation, play with the awareness, get to the spot you need to be. The 4th down stop that they make. Another excellent play for the Cowboys. This is well played by the defense. They're not going to allow Hill to shake loose in the tight red zone. He hides, and then he kind of motions, and then he motions again. And what happens is Hooker and Wilson are both they're both responsible for him. They're playing like a bracket coverage on him, and so they're not going to let him get away. So when you see when you see Hill come in motion. And, you know, he runs motion fast. You should see Hooker. Both of them are flying to make sure that they stay in position on the play because they're so scared of the explosiveness of Hill off the line. So they create a bracket on him. Tua took the tougher throw to try and get for Wilson on the fade. But Wanye Thomas, great job of staying wide on the play, forcing Wilson to the edge right there. So good job with that on the 4th down play. Okay, they ran the ball at Parsons a couple of different times in this football game. And when we've seen Parsons been bad against the run, where has he been lined up?
At end.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They got him a couple of times on the end. One time he reads, there was a gain of 6 where it happened 2 times in a row when they ran the ball at him. They pulled the backside guard, and he's so aggressive stepping down inside, they hooked him both times. And the second time, you could see him just like MFing himself. Yeah. Because he's like, how could I let that happen to me again? You know, you can just see it. I mean, he knows I'm not supposed to go down inside, and then he sees the puller, and he's like, oh no, I just gave this thing up. So that was unfortunate right there for him. But I will say this. As an off-ball linebacker, he had a couple really good plays.
He did, and that was a nice adjustment there from DQ.
Yeah. Well, that was one of those things. Like we knew that when you put him like off-ball, that he could create pressure. Eichenberg, the center. Yeah. There was one time where they're trying to throw the ball to Waddle in the flat, and Parsons. We all knew the idea. Eichenberg, the center, was going to have problems dealing with Parsons one-on-one. And Parsons was right over the nose, and he went right around him, and Tua had to throw the ball away. He throws the ball wide to Waddle in the flat. Incomplete right there. So good job by Parsons playing. As a matter of fact, they played him off ball 2 snaps, and there was a -2 on the play is what they do. So Parsons did a really good job. He did the second one was Mozzie Smith and Lawrence do a really good job of holding the point of attack. You got Parsons playing off ball, as I mentioned, and they're going to run the ball at Lawrence and Mozzie just hold up really, really well. Parsons, what does he do? He knifes down inside. He beats Cotton to the spot, and now A-Chain the tackle, loss of 1. So there you go, right there. Parsons playing a little off ball, taking advantage of good anticipation, good read, good quickness, good job by Lawrence and a little bit of Mozzie Smith too to hold up at the point of attack, not to give that away. All right, Mostert's TD catch. Mm-hmm. This one bothered me. because there's mass confusion by the Cowboys linebacker and secondary on this one. Gilmore gets picked by his own guy again. He gets picked by Lewis. Lewis is waiting for the crosser. And here's Gilmore trying to get across the back of the end zone. He gets picked. All right. So Mostert is moving from his left to his right. That takes Bell. The motion takes Bell and Kearse out of position. And then all of a sudden Kearse and then Mostert comes back underneath to his left. So he goes left, right, and then back underneath. Really nice little design. But the responsibility is on Kearse. Kearse doesn't react until it's too late. Mostert's already out into the flat. Ball is out. It's a 4-yard touchdown. But really the movement of one player affected the Cowboys down in that tight red zone area. But they, for the most part, man, they hung in there and did what they had to do against the run defense. I wish Dan Quinn would have blitzed more in this game, because that clearly was the opportunities, or when it happened in the game, that's when the struggles for Tua seemed to come to a head.